Tonight was not a good night for Celtic fans. Holy shit. Really tough loss in MSG. I don't know how long. J. Kyle Mann is here. Joe House is here. We're going to talk about the lottery later. We're going to play off the Knicks Celtics game as well. Not going to speculate too much on the Tatum thing, but it did not look good. Worst case scenario is an Achilles. Best case scenario is like torn ligaments in his ankle or some sort of bad ankle injury. But either way, like, done for the series, and God only knows for how long. What was your reaction when you saw Kyle? Did you think Achilles right away?
I mean, I've had a lot of sports injuries, but I'm not going to pretend to know these kind of things. But the fact that we were arguing about, ankle or not, I mean, the fact that he was neutral and there was the plant and then the reverse angle where you see the pressure and then you just kind of see his ankle just kind of wobble, like the stability gave out, which made me worry. But you and I were saying that, the pain part of it was the interesting reaction, because to me, I've never torn that. God willing, I don't go there. But his reaction to it was what made me think, because every basketball player fears that, right? I mean, it's increasingly getting more, doable and navigable, but with surgery and everything. But I think his reaction was he knew. That's kind of my speculation. It was he knew what it was, and it was just that like, holy shit, why me kind of a thing, right? Less than a writhing in pain type thing.
Yeah, House, usually with the Achilles, the guy almost doesn't seem like they knew it happened, and they grab like for something behind their thing. So I was studying it like, well, he's grabbing the side of his ankle. Maybe it's not, but it doesn't look great. And the irony of it was that was one of the best games of his career up to that point. I mean, he single-handedly kept the Celtics in that game for 3+ quarters and was outrageously good.
That's the bummer. We were being treated finally in this game 4 to the mano-y-mano that we basketball fans deserved. We were waiting for a Brunson game, and then, Tatum was there to match him blow for blow, shot for shot, and that fourth quarter was getting very exciting down that stretch there. And that's it. It's over. The season's over for the Celtics, and who knows what happens over the summer and next season.
It looked like the Knicks were about to pull away when that play happened. And the irony, normal pass to Jaylen Brown, who just didn't have it the whole night. He was fouls, turnovers, and for some reason the pass just deflects off him, goes back to Tatum. Tatum jumps for it, has the injury. But the Knicks, it was really just Tatum and White tonight for the Celtics. Even before that injury, nobody else really showed up. The Porzingis minutes were horrible. The two older guys, Horford and Drew Holiday, brought nothing to the table. Pritchard didn't really give them the boost off the bench. And then conversely, Brunson was awesome. Bridges made some big little 8-10 footers. OG made a couple threes. Towns had some big minutes, even though he was getting torched on defense. Robinson had a couple rebounds. The Knicks they just looked like a better all-around team up until the injury.
Yeah, the Porzingis thing was really glaring. I mean, in every facet, he was slow to the ball on the glass. But what I noticed was, on the season, it was a lot of Mikal Bridges, his strengths, his things that he's already pretty good at were just being, exacerbated, I think, amplified in this situation where he's really good at those dribble pull-up twos. And this is something that goes back to his Phoenix days that I remember in particular. CP3 and he would kill Porzingis with that left to right, where they would sort of go through the middle of snake through the middle of that pick and roll and get to that dribble pull-up shot. I mean, he was just killing Porzingis with that because Porzingis wasn't moving laterally really well. Horford wasn't either, but 48.1% on the season. I looked it up, dribble pull-up too. So that's his strength, and man, he killed him with it.
Yeah, I was worried. I was really worried about this game for a bunch of different reasons, but the one-day rest for the older guys on the Celtics versus like having the home game and then having to do it again on Wednesday night. House, when you're before the injury, you're watching it. And I was saying to you, I was worried about this game because the Knicks hadn't played a good game in this series yet. And what were the odds they were just going to go through 2 weeks and not have a good game? I thought they were pretty good tonight.
They were good, but the key, and I'm not here to rub it in anybody's face. If Porzingis isn't effective, then the Celtics, it makes it super duper hard for them to compete. They just don't have enough dudes. The Hauser injury turns out to be really impactful, and if Porzingis is this version of Porzingis, then it's tough because the Knicks do have 6 dudes. They have 6. That's exactly the number. They don't have more. Maybe even just call it 5.5. but they are dudes. They're all dudes. And look, here's the crazy thing to me. I'm looking at the numbers here. How did the Knicks get up 13 more shots? They had 13 more attempts from the field. I know. That's right. Yeah. They beat them by 12 on the boards. That's the answer. It's crazy because the turnovers were pretty even. And the Celtics were getting to the free throw line. That wasn't an issue. And they both shot, good from three, 38% for the Celtics, 35% for the Knicks. Those are good numbers, but 13 more attempts because the Knicks own the boards. And this is the second consecutive game where that happened. And, it just goes, it's very basic. It comes back to your dudes. Who are your dudes? Who's going to go get a rebound when you need it?
Yeah, there was one point I looked at Tatum and White were a combined 13 for 25 from three. And then the Celtics were still down by a point. I'm like, that's not a good sign. If you had told me that was going to be the number with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, that those two guys are going to have that and they would still be losing. So Jaylen roller coaster game. Before Tatum got hurt, I just thought he was so good on both sides. I mean, he had 5 steals, 2 blocks, just all over the place, just over and over again, attacking Towns, and really kept them in it. And the irony of what happened late was that it felt like this was going to be, potentially another version of the Jayson Tatum game. He's had a couple of those. He had the game in Milwaukee, he had the game in Philly, but this was, I thought, the best all-around game I had seen him play. A couple dumb threes here and there, but for the most part, was awesome. Did the Knicks seem like a finals team to you, Kyle?
I mean, based on what's on the board, yeah.
Yeah, I guess if Tatum's going to be down.
Yeah, I just thought as for as brilliantly as Tatum played, though, he was living a tough life. I mean, 9 isolations on the game, and a lot of it was working. They talked a lot about on the broadcast that, Karl is really vulnerable in drop. He's really vulnerable side to side, but he is decent at kind of staying down and he's long enough to contest. They were talking about how he bothered Durant. Tatum just kept working hard and he wasn't really getting by him. And a lot of the shots that he was getting to, he was making them, but he was just kind of doing his thing where he steps backwards. I don't know. It was, it seemed like he was burning a lot of calories to just take tough shots. Sometimes they go in, but that's just kind of the Jayson Tatum experience. But hey, if they all go in and he finishes that, yeah, I definitely think it's a notch in his legacy, bullet point list. But
yeah, the offense just fell apart. In the last quarter and a half of the game, where you could just feel it. You could feel when the ISO ball stuff starts, the balls, they stop running plays. They stop going, let's post up Holiday in this player. Let's run a little pick and pop with Derek White. And it just becomes all one-on-one stuff, clear out, the 1-4 kind of offense, which I don't know, House.
That offense fed into a run by the Knicks. The Knicks scored 70 points in the second half. They had 37 points in the third quarter.
Yeah, so Brunson made some great shots. And the Celtics fell asleep too a couple times. They left him open from 3. They didn't switch over in time, and they just kind of let him get into a groove because you can kind of always feel when he's about to go on one of his little runs. But I thought Bridges really helped too. And it, I didn't think Tibbs did a good job offensively the first 3 games, but I thought they mixed it up better in this game. It felt like everybody was a little more involved. So this could go down as, we'll see what happens with Tatum, but this could go down as one of the darker Celtic days. I mean, honestly, because especially the timing of, not to mention he's at the peak of his career. He's never had a major injury, Tatum, and if this is a major one, it doesn't just take him out for this playoffs, but it takes him out for, I think, all of next year too. As he's sitting in his late 20s, and you just wonder, is he going to be able to get back to the point that he was at tonight? So we'll find out.
The shame of it is the Celtics should have just tanked down the stretch, got themselves into the play-in, lost in the play-in game, and then used the 0.5% chances. They're like a 0.5%. It's a miracle what happens in the NBA. Miracles happen, Bill Simmons.
It's amazing how it shifted, though, from what you were talking about, Bill. The conversation that we were on this nice. And if you're lucky, you get to have this conversation about your career. And everything has to go right. And it just speaks how difficult it is. But Tatum gets to this point in his mid to late 20s where we're starting to have this conversation about what other levels are there left? And now it's do we get to have that conversation again? Now it's shifted to, you just spelled it out. It shifts to, can he get back? And Yeah, that's a huge fucking bummer, man, because and I was just thinking, I was talking to Hal about this before we got on, that can you ever remember one night where there were more fan bases that were just absolutely depressed for a wide variety of reasons than tonight? Because I can't. Like,
yeah, somehow House's fan base didn't crack the top 2 for most depressed. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens with Tatum, but this speaks to A, how hard it is to win a title, B, how important injury luck is, and C, how hard it is to just put together some really good years in a row. Like, even to be in the finals 2 years in a row with how basketball's played now and how physical and intense it is. And, Tatum was playing 40, 43 minutes a night and doing everything. He was the leading rebounder in the team. He was guarding Brunson, a few times in this series. And today he was kind of their best option to guard Brunson. He was the point forward over and over again. He's attacking the rim. I thought when Hart tripped him, I thought that was a dirty play. They didn't even review it. But he was getting pounded on the whole game. And, you need some luck with this stuff. We're going to take a break for the podcast. You're listening and watching the Bill Simmons podcast, presented by FanDuel, our friends, America's #1 sportsbook, and they've made it easier than ever to get in on the action during an NBA playoff game, even after tip-off. Just look for the live SGP tab on the FanDuel Sportsbook app and build your own bet slip. Then sit back, relax, track the outcome of your parlay right in the app. And if you don't already have it, download the FanDuel app today to make every moment more. The Ringer is committed to responsible gaming. Please visit rg-help.com to learn more about the resources and helplines available and listen to the end of the episode for additional details. It must be 21 plus and present in select states. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. This episode is brought to you by Degree Original Cool Rush Deodorant. Remember last year, people got really mad when Degree changed their Cool Rush formula. One dude even started a petition. What was up with that guy? Well, guess what? Degree listened. They admitted they messed up. They're bringing back the original Cool Rush scent, and thank God. You've got to love when a brand can own its mistakes, and it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores right now for under $4. Grab some. Find out why it's been the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. By the way, you should put that on, especially we're about to hit the summer. It's getting sweaty in the summers. The original Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.